Hola, ¿qué tal? Soy Matías Rebolledo y estamos aquí en Valladolid en la 70ª edición de la Semana Internacional de Cine, aquí en Pucela, en el Teatro Calderón, en el corazón de la Seminci. Ya sabéis, aquí en Kinótico estos días van a pasar lo mejor del talento nacional e internacional y, por supuesto, hoy, jornada de martes, jornada importante también para los Goya, vamos a pasar por aquí Ildikó Enyedi, directora de Silent Friend. Welcome to our set.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much for your time. I was just telling you, I was in love with the film since the moment that I saw it in Venice. So the very first question is a very obvious one. You're going to be tired to answer this, but how and when did you start to shape the film?
Actually, I wrote the first draft nearly 10 years ago. Then I had the opportunity to quickly make one film on body and soul, and then the story of my life. And after I jumped back to this project, and somehow the roots are so way back in my life. It goes back to my teenage years.
Mm-hmm. I know it may be stupid as a question, but why Ginkgo biloba?
Actually, it wasn't my first choice.
Okay.
What was important for me to have an outsider, a lonely tree, and the first one was a choice of a semi-tropical tree with huge red flowers which open in the night and are pollinated by bats. But I was in love with that little town in Germany, Marburg, and also that very, very special old botanical garden. And that tree doesn't live so north. So I was looking for a stranger, and I found an even stranger tree, which actually lives among all the plants which nearly extenuated it. So it's just a very few examples which remained in China and in Japan. It's like the redwoods in California. Once they ruled the whole globe, and now you just have it in a tiny place. So when European travelers saw these very special trees, they just liked it because it looks cute, it looks different, and brought it to Europe, and now you see it everywhere. So at least one plant we don't kill, but we have to spread again around the world.
I wanted to ask you about the structure. The film is divided in 3 stories which untangle around each other. So I wanted to ask you about that. Was that something that you have it in mind from the beginning? Was something that you were finding in the writing process? How did you manage to find the structure for the film?
Somehow this film is speaking to us, or tries to speak to us, not through the story, but through perceptions, through feelings. And in the same time, I knew that there is a sort of hunger for a story in us, in all of us. So somehow I had to balance to get to know these for me beloved people, the 3 protagonists of the film, but not to be immersed too much in their story, because then we miss the point. So somehow even their storylines are not connected with each other, just with the plants, and the connecting force is something different. So in the writing process, I was thinking about that structure, but if I write it that way, it would be very, very rigid. It's really the moment, the shots, what we had in a certain light, a certain day of a certain plant, which is leading us from one time to the other.
Mm-hmm. Did you find a second film in the editing room? Because the stories, like you said, they entangle each other. So I can imagine how difficult it was to edit the film.
It was super difficult, but super fun. And I work, and he's also a very good friend of mine, with an editor. In my 4 last films, we know each other very well, and it was a sort of game where it was like composing music a bit, not following the logic of the story, as I said, rather finding the rhythm, the pace, also in a bit more than 2 hours length to make feel that sort of much wider and more ample feeling of life of a tree, which is so different from the human time perception.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to ask you about the cast. Tony Leung, of course, there's nothing we can say about him that's not already said. But Enzo Bruman and Luna Wedler were discoveries for most of the people in Venice, and they were absolutely great. How did you find them? What did you ask of them?
I start with Luna Wedler, with whom I worked already in Story of My Wife.
Yep.
She was a very young actress, and I remember having a casting session with several actresses, and she was the first one. And midway, I just stopped her and offered her the role and canceled all the other meetings. She was such an elementary force and intelligence and humor and presence. Enzo Brum is a discovery for everyone because it's his second film and the first bigger role. We were looking for this young, shy boy for nearly a year. I can't tell you how many young actors I met. So he is really special and very strong. And of course, everything was said about Tony, but here I really try to show something of him, which was perhaps hidden until now. It is very natural. He's working nearly without makeup. Mm-hmm. It's very beautiful, serious, monk-like silence, what he has in everyday life. And when we started to work, even at our first meeting, it wasn't about the role that we spoke, it was about the whole background of the film.
Okay.
And I was so happy that he connected so vividly to that background.
Mm-hmm. So, Silent Friend, it's a very humanist film. It's obviously a great film, but it's a humanist film in dark ages, in dark times, in times where we have to remind each other that we are human. So I wanted to ask you, were you aware of that you were making a luminous humanist film when you were trying to find the right film in order to tell your story?
I don't know. times are nearly always dark. But to tell the truth, that I'm so happy to be of a generation which lived through the 70s as a teenager. And that sort of very special feeling of being able, being bold enough to rethink the frames of our life and imagining something more down to earth, more open, also towards other species, towards each other, reinventing life. It was in the air in the 70s, and it was a beautiful reminder for whole humanity that we could live differently. So somehow this sort of memory never left me. And if I think back to all my films, these heroes are very far from perfect, but they are good people. And there are lots of good people also around me, also in this room. So why not having the stronger voice?
One very last question. We do know that you are jet lagged. You have to be in a lot of places. We are here in Seminci, in Valladolid. Your first time here in the city. What does it mean for you, or what does a film festival like this for a film like yours?
I must say, every time before a screening, I am so nervous. I'm so curious how the film we worked on for such a long time is working, if it's communicating. This whole film is about communication, about not knowing exactly, just feeling the perspective of the other. So I'm very excited now, because today we will have the first screening of the film here. So let's see.
Well, Ildikó, thank you so much for your time, and
Thank you.
let's hope the best for the film.
Thanks.
Nosotros, ya sabéis, vamos a seguir aquí en Kinótico para contaros en Valladolid absolutamente todo lo que ocurra en esta 70ª edición de la Seminci, todo en kinótico.es, la primera con K, la segunda con C.